What's going on, Seville? It's another Monday, another week of the Seville Sports Mentality Show with Sports Rev and Mr. Grubb on the 610 Seville Sports Network, the sports pride of Coatesville. What's going on with you, Mr. Grubb?
Everything, man. Everything, man. A little couple technical difficulties with my voice, couple technical difficulties with getting on the show, but we're going to make it happen. We're going to do what we do, right?
We're going to do it, as Malcolm X once said, by any means necessary. Yesterday at church, I was listening to your voice, and I was wondering whose voice was worse. Mine or yours. You start preaching at the game on Saturday, going back old school, getting the fans live at the game in Norristown, man. What made you go into that on Saturday?
Well, first of all, we was going into Roman, and the kids had to give their all, so I thought we should give our all too. And that chant hasn't been done in so many years, and I forget the name of the guy who used to do it. But every game, he would do that chant. And I think I caught a lot of them by surprise. And I was kind of nervous because I didn't know if they was going to back me up. I could have looked like a fool out there. But them Coastal fans, man, they believe in what the kids are doing and they believe in what we're doing. So it all worked out, man, except for we didn't get the win.
We didn't get the dub, and you lost your voice for a little bit. But the spirit was definitely there, and it was good that the people backed you up because Roman Catholic knew that Coatesville's fans were definitely in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Grubb was leading the charge.
Yes, sir. It was a great feeling. It just shows you, man, that when the fans are involved, the Coastal fans are involved, and they know what's going on, they're going to support not just basketball, but all of our local high school sports teams, man. And it's just a great feeling to hear like everyone chanting that COA, TL. It's a long word to get through. That's probably where I lost my voice on the first L.
Yeah. I can still see you. You got some voice struggles. I'm gonna send you some of my throat coat after the show.
Oh no, pause.
Well, let me do this, man. Let's welcome everybody to the Seville Sports Mentality Show. We're so glad to be with you all this week. We hope that you will go ahead on, share this broadcast. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like the page if you haven't already done so. 610 Seville Sports Network. Go ahead and share this particular broadcast. Also, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, 610 Seville Sports Network. Go ahead and be a subscriber. The more, the merrier. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've been receiving. We're already over 1.1 thousand followers on the 610 Seville Sports Network Facebook page. So we greatly appreciate you all for doing so. As we normally do, we're going to get ready for our cash check-in. This is where we want the Coatesville area high school graduates to chime in. Let us know that you're tuning in by putting in your graduation year in the chat. So we're going to give you a few minutes to do that. But also, again, like the 610 Seville Sports Network Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get ready for this check-in. And of course, we start with our own Mr. Grubb, Seville graduate. And what year are you representing, Mr. Grubb?
So I'm representing 1995, and I'm sounding like the DOC because he was back in that era.
Not the DOC. Yes, 1995 is in the Seville Sports Mentality building. We want some more cash people to check in. And of course, if you've been watching the show by now, you know I like that year 1995. Even though I didn't graduate from the great Cash, I did graduate from the great Benjamin Elijah Mays High School in the ATL Shawty. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia is where I graduated. But come on in, chime in, let us know that you're tuning in. And if you're a graduate of Coatesville Area High School, a.k.a. Cash, please let us know that you're watching. Lamar Prickus is representing 02, and also he is one of the photographers who shoots footage for us, and we truly appreciate his contributions to the network. So he's representing the other side, the 21st century side of Cash Graduates. Sister Tara, man, what's up with you? Thank you so much for tuning in. If there are any other persons who graduated from Cash, please come on in, chime in, let us know that you're tuning in. Mr. Grubb did mention earlier that he had some technical difficulties, and can I be selfish? Because he had, with his other setup, a picture of his smash burger, and he didn't know that before the show, Rev's stomach was growling.
Oh, man, my bad.
Help me looking at a big smash burger for at least the next 90 minutes. So the God must have been looking out for my stomach, because I might have to leave the show and get something to eat, because looking at that delicious smash burger in the back would have messed me up. So maybe God was looking out for my stomach.
Man, don't tell my wife, but I stopped at Taco Bell on the way home because I know I wasn't going to have time to eat nothing. And, Taco Bell's a ripoff. I just want to say that.
Oh, man. Ever since they said that, well, I don't know if I want to talk bad about Taco Bell. They may become a sponsor one day. I don't know. But ever since they had that report that they were serving imitation meat, I don't go there anymore. But
yeah, you got to not think about it.
Well, that's how you get through it. That's how you get through it.
That's how I got through it, because it's actually good. They give you a slither of what is so-called meat, and then the lettuce and like some tiny tomatoes. And I said, I want 3 tacos, and they gave me 3 tacos, and they said $8 and something cents, and I still paid for it because I was craving it, man.
Wow. Well, you're a food connoisseur, and you make food, so I may have to follow your food advice if I get really hungry, and Taco Bell's the only restaurant near where I can get something to eat. We got some more folk who chimed in. Randy Morrow, representing the 197 and 6, is in the building. Thank you so much, Randy Morrow, graduate of Cash 1976. Tony Peterson has chimed in, class of 96. He was there around your time, Mr. Grubb.
Yeah, right after me, year under me, man.
Really?
96 was a good year, too.
All right. It was a good year in the ATL. Can I say why?
Let's go ahead, shoot.
That was the year that the Atlanta hosted the Olympics, 1996. Yep.
Hey, that's when that guy.
Never mind.
We don't need no more bad news, man.
No. We'll lift up the Olympics and not the Olympic bombing.
Yeah, sure. There we go.
Yeah. All right. He said Lorenzo Flannery said that's my favorite year. Okay.
Nice. That's Larry Brown III's dad. That's his father.
All right, bro, Larry.
Yep.
All right, thanks for tuning in, man. We truly appreciate it. Well, we're gonna train on. And if again anybody else from Cash wants to check in, please feel free to put it in the chat at any time. Put your graduation year, and we'll give you some love here on the CVL Sports Mentality Show. We have a segment each week called Red Raiders Respect, and we want to show a little Red Raiders respect to a team and an individual who had a huge accomplishment this past week, where we want to celebrate our Coachville athletes with what we call Red Raiders Respect. So here we go. Let's show a little Red Raiders respect on this 11th episode of the CVL Sports Mentality Show. We are showing Red Raiders respect to Sarah McGann, who swam in the PIAA state tournament. She came in ninth, but she set a school record for the 200 freestyle. So big ups to Sarah McGann, or let me correct myself, Rev Raiders respect to Sarah McGann. And also we want to show some Rev Raiders respect to the boys basketball team who concluded their season as the 2024-25 Chestnut champs, as well as they advanced to the 6A PIAA state tournament to the Elite Eight. So we give them Rev Raiders respect as well. And at the top of the hour, we will be privileged to talk to the head coach, Coach Tootie, also known as John Allen, and also assistant coach Ricky Hicks, who are not only coaches, but are two Coatesville basketball legends who have been on our show before, but they were so kind enough to join us again this week. So we look forward to having them talk about the season, recap the season. They don't know this, but I'll give them the heads up since they're backstage. We want to talk to them a little bit about some college basketball since it is March Madness. So they got to be locked in. And also, we want to pick their brains in talking about a little NBA basketball. So they got a little time. They're backstage. I'm sure they can hear us. A little college basketball, a little pro basketball, in addition to talking about the best basketball in Coatesville, which would be Coatesville boys basketball. As we give Red Raiders respect, Mr. Grubb, you want to say anything in regards to the Red Raiders respect?
No, just congratulations to all the people that we announced today. There is an announcement I want to make, but I'm not allowed to make, so not yet. So I gotta keep it inside because sometimes I got diarrhea of the lips, man. So don't ask me no more questions about giving any recognition to anybody because it might just slip out and I might say it.
Yeah, we don't want you to get in trouble with anybody. And I do know you not only got diarrhea of the mouth, diarrhea of the fingers as well.
Yeah, too. That too.
You're definitely one who, when you get some news and you're excited about the news, you want to do like Frank Sinatra once sang about New York. You want to start spreading the news. There's no diggity, no doubt about that.
Man, you know I'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and start texting you guys. It could be the dumbest idea. It could be the brightest idea. But I have to wake up and I have to send it because if I don't, it's going to trickle out of my ear and it'll be gone forever.
No doubt. And we can, Kim, our network communications person, she and I can testify that what he just said is true. It'd be 3, 4 o'clock. You wake up to a text, Mr. Grubb had some type of idea or something came and he's going to hit it as soon as he thinks about it. So he is telling the God honest truth on the Sports Brutality Show.
And I know y'all be up too, man. I know y'all be up because I hear y'all moving. I know y'all be up. And I see that check come. That means there's 2 checks. It's not just me. It's one of you guys. So somebody's up and y'all don't want to let me know that you're up at this time in the morning with me. And you're trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing.
If I'm up, it's a bathroom break.
Yo! Yo, shout out to the 47-year-olds that get up at 3 a.m. in the morning.
No doubt. I'm telling you now.
I'm one of them too.
Well, I ain't going to go that route. I'll be quiet on that.
It's okay.
As you get older, you got to do what you got to do. I'll just put it that way. Gary Gill, what's going on, representing the 1965 graduating class of Cash. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Kim wanted to chime in. This is our network coordinator, communications person. Of course, we're up. You just woke us.
Somebody got to do it. Hey, real quick, Gary Gill is, I consider him our town sports historian. You can call that guy, man, text him, email him, and ask him for some information, and he'll find it. And it don't take long either.
Well, that's cool. That's good to know that Gary Gill is the historian. And it's wonderful during this network journey these past 2 months to come across those sports historians. You got Dave Berman, who gives you all the history of PIAA basketball, and now learning about Gary Gill. That's just awesome. And it's wonderful when you have people who are passionate enough to remember the history of various sports. That's always a great thing to have in your midst. All right, real quickly, we do want to show some love to the Coatesville lacrosse and baseball teams. They started their seasons on today. I had a chance to go out into the blistering cold weather to start the Coatesville Lady Raiders lacrosse team, who came up a little short today, 14-13. If you all can do us a favor, feel free to like the post that we put up today. I was able to get a little bit of footage of the lacrosse game, and we hope that the girls will have a great season and have some better days coming, and hopefully we'll be able to collaborate with some of their parents and Booster Club members, as we need their help to get us footage and stats and so forth and so on. Also, the baseball team will start at 6:45. They just had the first pitch as we speak. And some footage from them. And we want to thank one of our new guys on the staff, Andy, for taking the time to get some footage from that game on today. So during the show, we might have some score updates on the baseball game that is taking place as we speak. And we're looking forward to some of their parents, as well as the Booster Club, shooting us footage and clips so that we can post different things about those respective teams on the network page. As I had to tell the people that I spoke to of those respective teams, our network coordinator and communicator, Kim, makes us look much bigger than what we really are. We are a staff of 3, and as Mr. Grubb likes to say, operating on a budget of 0. So therefore, we don't want anybody to get any misconceptions that we do not have a full staff that can cover all of the sports. And we know during the springtime, there are a lot of sports.
Yeah.
So we are petitioning people's help to get these clips, to get these stats and scores, so that we can do what we can to promote those respective teams. And what we are seeking to do is to have a media day, which we weren't able to do for the basketball teams, where we're going to go and get pictures of the players, get a couple of interviews, and put something together so we can post it on our network page, so that the community can get accustomed or become aware of the various players of the respective sports. You want to chime in any on that, Mr. Grubb?
Yeah, a few things, man. Did a good job today filling in for me as cameraman. You had held a steady hand. And that's one of the things from a great cameraman watching another learning cameraman do his thing. You did a great thing, man. I was very proud of you today.
Well, I learned from watching the best, so I appreciate that.
I don't know if I'm the best, but I feel like I'm the best. I feel like that fighter that said he had the best jab in the business, and then he went in there and he got knocked out. And he came back and said, I thought I had the best jab in the business. But on a more serious note, Rev, as far as like getting the community to be more aware and more familiar with the local high school sports teams, back in 95, 94, when Ross Kersey came out of retirement to come back to be the head coach, basketball coach, he did a family night, sort of like a midnight madness, but it was at 6 p.m. And he invited all the parents, all the family to come in the gym and watch his practice. And then he stopped practice and he introduced every single one of the kids and the coaching staff. And he started off that because we hadn't won the Chestmont. There was a little drop going there between the end of Quentin Fields' tenure as head coach and to when Ross Kersey came back. And when he came back in 94, we won the Chestmont championship and went to the quarterfinals in the states. And that was with a team on Darryl Lewis and Joey Taylor, Solo Taylor, R. Persley, Daryl Hunt was on that team. I just throw these names out there because I see a lot of these guys at the games, and coming to support these younger guys. So you got a lot of Coachville alum basketball players that come out to these games consistently, and they're out there to support these kids. And most of them are parents of some of the kids that are on the team now. So it's just a great thing that they come out and they support the team, but it's also a great thing that we're able to do that and build that connection between the community and the local sports team. So that's just one of the things that I'm proud about. And when I start talking about it, I get long-winded on it, but I'm just very excited, man, enthusiastic about this whole venture, man, because we're getting some feedback and people are loving what we're doing. And like you said, we get paid $0 an hour. I don't want no sympathy or nothing, because we choose to do this. We do it because it's enjoyable. It's exciting. Sometimes we fight, but we get through it, man. And that's the best thing about it, that we can come through those type of things, man, and still understand that there's a bigger picture. It's not me. It's not Rev. It's not Kim. It's not just the basketball players. It's the community and making them feel good about this whole venture, man. So, Rev, we're going to keep doing this thing, man.
For sure. And it's just like you said, it's wonderful, the support that has been going on for the young men, especially the boys basketball team, but also for this network. At the game the other day, had several people just coming up saying you all are doing a great thing, enjoying the network, and it's amazing just in 2 months how our reach has expanded. And I think that better days are definitely coming, and we look forward to being able to broadening our reach. I'm looking forward to the day where we can tap into some of the students to give them a head start to work for a network, especially if they have visions to work in sports or marketing or whatever the situation is. They could join our network and get some network training while they're still in school. So the sky is the limit to what is going on. And
yes, sir.
The beautiful thing is keeping the main thing, which is the uplift, to uplift the CVille community. What's up?
No, I wasn't going to say anything, man, but I agree wholeheartedly with you, man. And I know Tootie and them are about to come on, man, but the way we ended that season with them, man, and we'll talk about it when they come on, man, but that was emotionally it was kind of hard for me listening to those kids and the coaches, but we'll talk about that later, because I'm starting to get diarrhea of the lips again, man. So,
well, speaking of the interview, Coach Tootie and assistant coach Ricky Hicks, they will be on in about 5 minutes. So if you need to get some water or whatever to hydrate yourself so you won't miss anything, go ahead and do it now. You can leave me and Mr. Grubb, but be back by 7 o'clock, because you don't want to miss Coach Tootie and Coach Ricky Hicks, and we're glad that they're here. And we want to just say big ups to them, because they could have easily passed on doing it. I need some time to recover from what took place on Saturday, but they showed up and are going to show out at 7 o'clock, and we're looking forward to that interview. Before we bring them on, let's just kind of set the table for the interview. Once the boys came up short, it was a tough fought game. The game was like a seesaw, Roman Catholic will go up by like 6, 8, 9 points. Coatesville come back, take a 1-point lead. Roman Catholic come back up, take a 7-point lead. Coatesville came back, took a 1-point lead, and then at the end of the game, Roman Catholic took the lead and didn't give it up. What were your initial thoughts as the game was winding up, as we knew the season was coming to an end?
I really wasn't thinking anything, man. I wasn't mad. I had a sense of pride, because those boys came out and they fought, man. And everybody, I'm gonna say everybody, except for them and the coaches, I think a lot of people thought they was going to lose. Some people thought they was going to lose badly. Mm-hmm. They thought they was going to get blown out because of what they saw Roman do to Central York. And some people knew that these kids are coached real tough and they're going to battle. But they didn't think we was going to win. They didn't think we needed a miracle to win. But them kids didn't think that way. And I'm sure them coaches didn't think that way. And that's why they came out and played the way they played. They just got, I don't ever want to use this the bad calls or rough excuses or whatever. But sometimes it is what it is, man. And it's evident. But I'm not going to do that. We didn't make a lot of layups. There was shots missed that we should have made. But the ball didn't fall in the basket the way we wanted to. And that happens. Sometimes you got to go through these losses and this journey to get where you need to be. And I really think they're going to get over that hump, man. I really do. I think the program that Tootie and his coaching staff and Ricky, they're building, not just this year, but this is the third year. 3 years ago when he came in, he asked the community, he said, man, listen, I'm not a savior, but I'm going to do the best I'm going to do. I'm going to give my all, but I need your help. And that energized me. What can I do? I texted my call, man. What can I do to help, man? Whatever you can do, Levi, whatever. Well, what I do best is cook. I'm going to feed the boys. Mm-hmm. Quincy does the same thing. Quincy was doing it before me. He calls me, hey, bro, I need your help with this. And that's the thing about Coach Will, man. We can call on each other, and say, I need help. And we do it. And especially when it's one of our own in those positions. Tootie and Ricky Hicks, Mark Bailey, Tyree. Them guys like that, man. All of them from Coachville.
Well, we appreciate what you just shared. And obviously you could detect the passion in your voice for you were really feeling what you were saying. And, we're looking forward to beginning this conversation with Coach. And we want to, again, applaud them for the job well done that they did with the young guys. And we'll talk a little bit more about it in about 30 seconds. So without any further ado, Seville Sports Mentality Show family, will you all get ready to show some virtual love to two Coatesville basketball legends, two of the best to ever do it in Coatesville, but two of the best coaches, not just in Coatesville, not just in Chester County, not just in Pennsylvania, but two of the best high school coaches in the country. Will y'all show some love to your head basketball coach, Coach Tootie, a.k.a. John Allen, and to assistant coach, Ricky Hicks. Let's welcome them to the Seville Sports Show, Sports Mentality Show family. We appreciate you two guys for joining us on today. Thank you so much, Coach Tootie. Thank you so much, Coach Ricky. We truly appreciate you all's presence. Mr. Grubb, before you start the interview, is there anything that you want to say to these gentlemen before you get going?
Yeah, I just want to ask one of y'all because, man, I'm not normally in my normal setup, man, because I got kicked out the house. I was following you guys so much, and I went home, and she told me if I like it better out there, you can go stay with them. So I'm in the garage right now in my little man cave, and I just want to explain that to you guys, man, just so you don't get worried about me. And my voice is hoarse because I was yelling for you guys.
That's not a fact. That's not a fact. She was she was with us when we was winning, but when we lost, now she ain't with us. So make sure you understand that.
Man, you making my situation worse.
I seen her behind the bench.
Yeah, man. She gets a little excited when you guys are playing. She gets excited. She start cursing and stuff, and she says, "Well, I'm not gonna say no names, but he is." I said, "Well, you're not him." But yeah, we had a good time watching you guys, man. Hey, so Rev threw it to me to start the interview. After I went on my long diatribe, man. Listen, how you guys doing, man? I know you are you guys are kind of upset about the loss, but I know you're starting to figure out what you're going to do for next year already. How you guys processing this?
You know, man, same thing, man. It's been 2 days, so you know, on a Monday we usually have practice around this time, and to not be able to practice with this team, the guys like we've been in the trenches together, man. We've been working out for 10, 10 months to a year, and to not go to practice today is just it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. So, um, you know, next year will come, but you know, these guys gave me everything that they had. They gave us everything that they had, not just in one game, but every day. And if you could come see a practice, come see everything that we've done, come see everything that we do on a daily basis, whether it's watch video, whether it's get up at 6 a.m., getting yelled at, getting screamed at, and they just keep coming back day after day after day and give me everything that they got. Um, to lose, to go out, say that it's over, it, it, it hurts. I mean, it hurts.
Yeah, it's definitely evident in your posture and your voice. It's not the same upbeat Tootie that we've seen throughout the season. But it's not, I don't think it's because you're down. I think it's because you're probably, that adrenaline is gone. Like, I think you got adrenaline going through your body all season because being a coach, that's exhausting. Both of you know you got to give your off. You're a really good coach. You're going to give your all, and you're making sacrifices. You're sacrificing time with your family. You gotta juggle your job, plus be a basketball coach. And on top of that, you're a father figure to both of you. Father figures to all of those kids on varsity and JV, and even them ninth graders looking up. Ricky, tell me, how are you processing this? I know you on go, but how are you processing this right now?
Well, it was a slow process for me. I think because it was more like the kids played hard, man. They gave us everything, and with some calls that could have went either way, and then it came down to making shots. So I wasn't no way disappointed at the kids. As a matter of fact, I applauded them at the end of the game. We couldn't ask for more than what y'all gave us, But sometimes the basketball gods, some balls winning came out. It just ain't our time. But like John said, we've been working so hard for so long. You know what I mean? And to see the kids a little upset, you know what I mean, at the end of the game, it really let me know that they care. And then I had to go in there today. Like, I work at the school now, so I'm seeing the kids. They coming up to me. We laughing, we joking, but you can still see it's in the back of their mind. We don't have practice today, and it kind of hurt them too. You know what I mean? It kind of hurts them that we don't have practice and we still ain't going on. But I just let them all know that I was very proud of them.
I don't think the kids, not just our high school kids, but just kids that are playing varsity basketball and it's their senior year, and they come to the realization that that is their last game. And I don't know if they realize that you guys, the coaches, know exactly how they feel because you've been there before and you've done that and you felt that pain of knowing that it was your last high school game. And when I wasn't eavesdropping, but I overheard some of the conversation, and it even touched my heart because I'm like, took me back. That's how you feel, man. So I felt for Amon and Armand and who's the other seniors? Um,
We got 8 seniors, so we got
Eight
eight
seniors.
seniors. Nas Williams,
Nas,
Leonard
yes.
Williams, Britton Darnell, Brian Myers, Nasir Buchanan, Amon, Armand, Nas. So all of them, if I forgot somebody, I
Flash,
apologize. But all those guys, who you say? Who you say?
Isaiah,
Yeah, Isaiah. I said Isaiah. But all those guys, man, and it's not just the seniors, man. Like everybody. We got a 14-year-old on the team. You know what I mean? We got a 14-year-old. We got Jaleel stepped up in the playoffs as a sophomore. Um, we got the junior class. So all those guys gave us everything that they had, especially in that last game, man. And, to go in and be like the underdog. We hear what everybody's saying. We watched the game before our game too. We understand what it was, but they normal. They normal like us. They just like us, and we don't feel like they better. We feel like we didn't shoot the ball well. When you shoot 2 for 16 from three, and 15 for 47 for the game, you're gonna lose to anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. We could lose to a team from the Chestnut, lose to a team from the Catholic League. So, but we got open shots, we got good shots, we got, we was locked in defensively. We was locked in. So I'm proud of our kids. Like Hicks said, sometimes the basketball guys, they show up and the bad things show up at the wrong time. And we made 7 3-pointers against Cumberland Valley. And I thought they were tough shots. You look back at the shot that Amon hit to win the game was a tough shot, deep shot with a hand in his face. You go to the game against Roman, and now he getting wide open shots, and they go in and out. So, and we want them to take those shots. We ask them to take those shots. We get 2 feet in the paint, driving kicks with Nas and some stuff from Colton. And we want our guys to take those shots and feel comfortable to take those shots. They just didn't go down that day. And I know how hard our guys work on those shots. For them not to go down and them not to shine on that stage, right? The kids not to shine on that stage. That's painful.
Yeah, last question, Rev, for Tootie. Tootie, there's one other thing that I noticed. Your son, you had him with you, and he was upset. And I know that the family environment that you've built, it extends to your family.
Yeah.
Tell us about that relationship, because you see it on national TV with college coaches. They bring their kids, but you could tell that was so genuine that he was upset that you guys lost. Does he talk about the team? Do you have conversations or something like that?
He was having conversations with some other fans before the game. Like, are y'all going to Hershey with us? Y'all ready to go to Hershey? Like he was already ready to go to Hershey. Like, he wanted his candy. But he goes to practice with me every day, almost every day. He's at practice. He dapping the guys up. Like, he paying attention. He's nervous. My boys, they locked in just as much as everybody else. So all of our families, our significant others, our kids, like, they all locked in. And we just kind of, my boy was upset. He didn't want it to end, just like I didn't want it to end. So he let it out. He was emotional, and they like his brothers. They like his big brothers. So he feel that. He feel it just like they feel it. He seen them crying. He know the hurt that they had. But he was crying. So I felt the pain. I couldn't get through a speech. I couldn't get through talking to our players, because I was just so full of emotion and so proud. So yeah, man, it's a tough day that we'll get over it. And my boy he's good now. He had school today, and he's running around right now and making a lot of noise right now. But at that time, it was just, he felt like his brothers had lost something. So
You got it, Rev.
All right, Coach and Coach Tootie, and also Coach Ricky. Again, we thank you all so much for being on. Before I continue on, we want to show you some love from the chat. Christopher Bottoms, Tootin, Hickey, awesome job sending love. From Poughkeepsie, New York. Love you, my brothers. Thanks for tuning in. Chris, I don't know if y'all know, that's my god brother.
Yes. Oh
yeah. His grandmother was my sister's godmother. So we love Miss Pearline Carter, no doubt. So thanks for watching, Chris. Ricochet Hines saying we couldn't ask for better coaches. So we appreciate the love. And Rob Fisher says, great job, Tootie. Ricky and the players, a great year. Should be very proud. Now, let me ask you a question from these comments that were just shared. What do those comments mean to you? I'll start with you, Coach Ricky, and then Coach Tootie, you can follow up.
It means a lot. I mean, because when you sit down and you think about it, the process that we go through from when we took the program, like it was a struggling program, and every year we put in 10 months, 11 months. I think last year we might have went 12 months straight, maybe a week off here and there. And you know, people who coach, people who know us know how hard we played. They know our dedication to the kids, and they know we're doing the best we can do. And sometimes it don't come down to wins and losses. It comes down to kids getting better. It comes down to kids going to college. And that's what we're here for at the end of the day. We want to make our city proud, want to make our families proud. So when you hear people say that, because it's times where you might hear other chit chat. Well, the coaches should have did this. The coaches should have did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's times where people don't understand, like we in the gym 10 months with these kids. We know the ins and outs of these kids. So people are making calls, but they don't understand. We in here every day. We know who, what, when, and where. It's not no secret of what we doing, and we get together as a group. So it's never just one. It's a group of 4 or 5 of us when we make decisions. And sometimes, you know, it kind of sometimes you hear it, but you got like you just let it go. But at the same time, people got to understand, man. We all in this together. When we lose, we gonna lose together. When we win, we gonna lose together. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to hear fans saying great coaches, great job, because sometimes it's a unthoughtful job, man. You know what I mean for what we do.
Yeah. Yes. Coach Allen?
I mean, just to piggyback off what Hicks said, we started this thing, and it was no fan base, nobody going to the game, no excitement, nothing, right? And people told me personally I was the craziest person in America for taking this job with the parents that we have, the no community support, and we had no talent coming up in Coachville. That's what they told me 3 years ago. And that's what I heard 3 years ago. And I'm part of this community. The same kids that they was talking about was my family. The same parents that they was talking about was my family, my cousins, my my aunts, my uncles, people that I grew up with. And I had to hear, what was supposed to be a joyous moment, me living out a dream, right? Coming back and coaching these kids and trying to get them in college. And I was hearing from people on the outside, like, Coachville is nothing. Coachville is trash. We was taking a beating, and people were saying it to me, right? Like they were saying it to me, and now it's like, of course you win. You Coachville. You got so much talent. You got so much community support. So to see a 180 and to see us bring that all together and to have people say positive things, man, I don't really hear the criticism. I don't, because people have a platform to say whatever they want to say, and that's cool. That's okay. Like Hicks said, we in the gym with these kids. We in the trenches. When the kids is crying, when they need something, they come to us for a shoulder to lean on. When the families of these kids need something, they come to us, and we always there. We ask Mr. Grubb for food, right? We ask Mr. Grubb for food because two of our kids is going through Ramadan right now, and they needed food after practice. Mr. Grubb stepped up. So for us, I don't hear the negative. I don't hear the negative. I don't. There's no negative when you're helping to feed a kid. There's no negative when you're helping to bring a community together. There is no negative. People have a platform to say whatever they want. People criticize NBA champions at the highest levels. Like, there is no criticism that can stop us or stop me or stop us from what we're doing. So to see these comments and to bring it together, it helps. It helps with the healing process of losing. But that just makes me even more determined to want to win for the city and for the community and for everybody involved with this thing. It's not just me. It's not just the coaches. It's not just us that go to practice every day. It's everybody in the community, and we get everybody's help and everybody's support. And that's what I feel, and that's what I see.
Before I ask you the next question, I just want to give you, as the head coach, credit. You stated earlier that there was not really a fan base that followed you as you took the job. And I want to say, to your credit, you did your job building communal relationships. And as pastor of the First Baptist Church of Paston, I can speak directly to that point because we had your team at our church before the season or during the season. So I want to applaud you for understanding the culture but also knowing what needed to be done to build those community relationships, which ultimately help build fan support. So kudos to you. Now, I know you're feeling the end of the season. I want to take you all back to the beginning of the season because you all had to do some major work prior to when that first jump ball took place at the beginning of the season. Two of your top 5 players were brought in, either one coming from 8th grade to 9th grade and one transferring from a Philadelphia school to coming to Coatesville. So I want to know, how did you all build the culture that you did for this particular team? And we know that you built a culture that was based on family. For when we go to the end of the season, you saw that the family that played together, once they lost, they were the same family that cried together. So how did you all build this culture starting at the beginning of the season?
I'll talk a little bit about it. Hicks will talk a little bit about it. But really just the foundation was set probably last year with last year's group. And the practices and the work that we put in, the community service that we put in, everything that we did was together. And the foundation was probably set with those last year with those seniors that kind of showed our guys how to work a little bit. And then, with Colton coming in this year as an 8th grader and with Nas coming in, Nas came in and he was already a part of. Colton came in first, so Colton came in. He worked. We worked last spring and this summer, and he showed up to everything. So he was already locked in. He was already feeling like a part of the family. He did some stuff with us last year, and then once Nas came in, it was seamless. It was easy. Our guys had already had this work ethic, and credit, like a lot of our guys became more mature. Like Larry really grew up and became more mature, and so it was kind of like seamless transition because they had already established, the seniors last year had already established like a work ethic.
I piggyback what Tootie said. We started early with Colton. Even last year, when we was making that run, he was going on trips with us. Like the last couple of games, he was on the bus with us. So we wanted him to see it. You know what I mean? So he was already kind of locked in and seeing what the playoff atmosphere was about. In the summertime when we started, he was there pretty much at everything. And then when Nas came in, I mean, I remember the first practice, man. This guy was diving for loose balls. He was setting an example that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So when you set that example, I'm going to outwork. I'm going to be the hardest worker. It set a lot of people like, okay, and the coach was like, okay, we got somebody who's going to play hard all the time. You know what I mean? And like you say, Larry grew up, Amon grew up. I mean, you got to remember last year they had seniors in front of them, and they had their ups and down years, and the seniors put their arms around them, and they was ready to do the same thing for whoever needed it. You know what I mean? So that's all part of growth. And like I say, sometimes it ain't about winning and losing. Sometimes it's about becoming a young man and coming and growing into a young adult. And that's what we want to do. Like basketball is the focal point. But the lessons we teach every day, like family, structure, discipline, all that stuff means a lot in life. Because if you don't have that, you can get lost somewhere. So we try to structure everything we try to structure everything more like a life learning expression. You know what I mean? Example. So and the kids bought in, man. They bought in. Even the kids that wasn't playing bought in. We could talk about all the other guys, but we had 4 or 5 seniors didn't play, and they was at every practice.
On
Diving for
time,
loose balls,
early.
cheering the guys on, knowing they wasn't gonna play. That's the beauty of it that people don't see. Guys are showing up every day. First one's there, still working on that craft, still working on that jump shots, still working on everything we need them to work on. So you can name certain starters, but it took a whole team from one to at the end of the year 1 to 17, including the kids we moved up. So that's what we thrive on, man. We family, we hugging, we laughing, we joking. I mean, some of the kids may have other issues at home, but when they're at peace.
That's good stuff. Here's some comments. Josh Kranz, who's a big fan and supporter of the program, John Tootie Allen, is that bull? He got some love for Coach Hicks. Hicks' best basketball mind and skills development, period. I hear you, Josh.
Man.
Christopher Bottom said Hicks gave me my first pair of alligator shoes. That left a lasting impression because he loves his dress. That's for sure. Now, both of you all mentioned Colton Hiller. It's no shock that Colton gets a lot of headlines. He came into cash with a lot of hype, if you will. I remember when I saw you all scrimmage the game in the 11-12 center, and I just saw him taking some shots before the game, and I said, he's a player. Matter of fact, while I was in Oklahoma, I was talking to one of my cousins who had not known, he didn't know anything about the Coatesville basketball team. And I said, Coatesville got a player named Colton Hiller. So he went on YouTube and saw shoot some balls. In 30 seconds, he said, oh, that kid can play, without even watching the game. So the question I have for the both of you all, when did you all know that freshman stud Colton Hiller was not just hype, but using what Coach Hicks just said, he was here? When did you all know that he was here and not just hype? I'll start with Coach Ricky, because you look like you were ready to chime in right off the tip, right off the top.
Well, I mean, we could talk about this year. I could talk about previous years. Like, he played for my Rip City team for like two games. I mean, two tournaments. And in them two tournaments, it wasn't even close. And he makes the difference. But he always was a worker. He always was smart. He always played up. He always played up with his older brother 2 grades up. And I used to train their team. You know what I mean? So I tried to take him to Florida. Like, I was taking little Larry with Rip and trying to get him to play on that team, but he was too young at that point, and his mom and dad didn't want him to go. But at that point, I knew the kid was good. Like, I knew he was good just because he played up and he was tough. You know what I mean? Once he stretched out, once he went from that little chubby kid to that 6'5" kid, I mean, that's God's work. You know what I'm saying? That's God's work. You go from little chubby 6'2" kid to 6'5", and a little bit of athleticism through the work that he did, working with different guys on the off season. I mean, and his basketball IQ is incredible. So I already knew what the kid was. I already knew from watching him for previous years, like, how good he was.
Before you chime in, Coach Tootie, Manisha Bolden said Colton Flag. So he's already getting the Cooper Flag comparisons of freshman phenom at Duke. Chime in, Coach Tootie.
Well, 2 years ago, we had a kids that went to homecoming, and we went to like one of those fall showcases. And then went to homecoming, so the next day it was rough for them. And he was 7th grade. Yeah, well, actually, he was in 8th grade, so it was fall of his 8th grade year. And we had two tough games, and one of those games was Westtown, and we only had like five guys. And I was like, all right, well, we could just bring Colton. So he made 6. We ended up playing Westtown, and he got out there, and I was like, man, Westtown, they got these 7-footers, man. They got 6'10", quick guards. They're full of Division I players. We got down by about 15. And so this was last year's seniors. We got down by about 15, and they was feeling it, man. They was feeling homecoming the night before, right? So they was feeling it, and he knocked out about 4 threes. Boom, boom, boom. And they start face guarding him. He hasn't even played 8th grade basketball, and he gets face guarded by Division I prospects. And I was like, oh yeah, we got to do everything we could do to keep him. So yeah, he probably ended up with about 18 against Westtown in limited time, like limited action. And from then I knew, we just got to keep getting better. And once he got with us in our off-season program, then he would be fine. He would be good. But what he did during the season it was for me. I've seen it. I had seen it for almost a year. So it was it wasn't anything. But 2 years ago, before his 8th grade basketball season, playing against Westtown, I was like, oh yeah, you're the real deal.
Before I throw it back to Mr. Grubb, let me ask you about 2 more players. And I want you all to talk about their development for your team this season. I remember watching Larry as a 9th grader, and he used to get pushed around, but this year he was pushing people around. So I want you to kind of comment on his development. And then Amon Folks really emerged as the team's leader on the court. He was Mr. Clutch in many games, and we know that he was more so a role player in previous years, but he became one of the premier players in this during this season. So, if you don't mind, talk about the growth, the development of Larry and Amon. I'll start with you, Coach Allen.
Yeah, Larry, he really, really dedicated himself to the weight room, to getting stronger, to being more physical. But he spent a lot of time in the gym. We had a conversation early on before the summer even started, like, yo, you got to dedicate yourself to this. And he really, really dedicated himself. He gained 30 pounds in 3 months, really doing the right thing. You could see he went through Ramadan. He was playing as hard as he could, while fasting. Like, and off the court, he really, really, really matured. And I think that was the main thing that helped him, is that he really matured. So much so that this is my belief, is that our biggest obstacle in Saturday's game was the fact that we didn't have Larry in the second half. If we have Larry in the second half, I believe that we win that game. He picked up his third foul 30 seconds into the half, picks up another foul as soon as he gets back in. He only played about 2 or 3 minutes. If we have Larry for 12, 13 minutes in the second half, then we win the game. And I told him that if we had him, and that's not his fault. It's not his fault. He was helping. He did everything that we told him to do. He was locked in. But I'm telling you, if we had Larry for 12 or 13 minutes, then we win that game. And that's probably the biggest miss for us in the game, was not just missing shots, but we didn't have Larry. So in the past, we probably couldn't have said that, but he's worked so hard on his game, and his maturity is off the charts. Now Amon, he just takes the role. Like, he's like, nobody is going to give me this role. I'm gonna just take on the role as the leader. And you can see his leadership growing, and the team starting to trust him more as the season went on. But he also put work in, man. These guys, they put work in so much so, man. And Mr. Grubb, though, I heard you a little bit earlier talking a little bit about him. More to come from him later on, but he put work into where I keep saying he's one of the top 2 point guards in District 1. So and that's why I get upset, because he's not able to showcase that, in the semifinals of the state or in the state finals. Like, this dude can really play, and he's going against 5-star, 4-star players, Division I players, and he's come out on top. He's come out like, we don't always win, but he's come out on top, right? And he's done that time after time after time again. And I'll say it to anybody: is he a Division I player? Is he a Division II player? Listen, we played him all, and he's always come out on top. So, you explain that one to me.
That's good stuff. Coach Hicks, on those 2 players?
Yeah, just to follow what John said about Larry. Larry grew up so much, man, just in a luxury and, mentally. Like, he started thinking the game more than just playing it. Larry just used to play the game. Now he started thinking the game. You know what I mean? Like John said, he put on that weight. That weight was perfect for him. And Lord knows, with me and John, I know I did. I pushed him as being a leader, because he was the one that they was listening to. So through 2 years of being the one that had to listen, he had a voice now. And he knew he had a voice. I was like, Larry, you got to do such and such, such and such. And he understood, okay, coach, I got you. Because they listened to him. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to carry on. That's going to carry on the next year. It's going to carry on when he go to college. You know what I mean? Because he's a great kid, comes from a great family, man. The most humblest, nice kid. One of the most humblest, nice kids I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? Just never disrespectful. Don't say much. Always generous. Always nice. So, what the best is waiting for. The best is in front of him. Armand, I thought Armand worked his tail off, because, Armand was trying to learn the game last year quicker than what he needed to learn it. So I think once he started listening and started understanding a little bit more about that point guard spot, you could see it. You could see it playing defense a little better. Beginning of the year, he was reaching on every play. To the end of the year, he wasn't even reaching no more. You know what I mean? So his development, his willingness to learn and want to be taught by us. You know what I mean? Because it was tough last year with him. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was tough. This year it was easier. He was more open. And he knew what kind of was his team. Last year, he was just a player out there. He didn't know it wasn't his team. He was part of a team. This year, he took the leadership role and ran with it. So I take my hats off to both of them guys, man, because they went from last year roles to this year roles was two different roles.
Appreciate
We're
you.
gonna miss him, man. We're gonna miss him so much, man. He's been here these 3 years, three Elite Eights, 2 Chestnuts. We're gonna miss him, man. We're gonna miss him.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Mr. Grubb.
So I'm gonna just piggyback on both of y'all, man, because Rev had asked me earlier in the show, what was I thinking when we basically knew that we weren't going to win the game, and one of the things I was thinking about Amon and how he did grow throughout this season, and he was starting to catch fire, after those game-winning shots or one of the shots putting y'all in the overtime. Me and Rev talked about him a lot. It's like, man, this kid is catching fire. We hope that you guys can continue to make a run because, just like Tootie said, you get into that semifinal and you show out and anything can happen. But between as a senior now and then like next year, whether they go to college and play or whatever, all y'all know there's a big jump. So for Amon, man, it was exciting watching him. And I think there's the best is yet to come with him. And with Larry, just piggybacking on what Ricky said about the maturity, the humbleness, like the respect. Me and Rev being allowed in the locker room and being able to experience that with you guys and your kids. I mean, y'all accepted us into your family. So we really genuinely appreciate that. And it just got to the point where we're like, nah, we got to be there. There was one game, remember the girls' game y'all made me go to?
I know what you about to say.
Y'all was playing at Bishop Shanahan. And I said, man, Rev and Kim was like, nah, we got to show the girls some love. Girls team love you. All due respect. But I wanted to go to that game. Everybody thought it was going to be a blowout. And, man, let me tell you something. Somebody called me, and they was like, yo, they going in overtime. Colton doing this and doing that. I lied to you not. And Rev will tell you. I drove all the way down there, hoping to catch the last minute of the game, man. And I got there, and everybody was coming out. And this is one of those times where I don't ask a question. I just like to reminisce with you guys, man, and show the appreciation. Because, man, you guys gave us something that we weren't expecting personally. We weren't expecting it, man.
We expected more. We expected more, and that's why it hurt so much. And our kids expected more. Our kids, they put a lot into it. So we expected more, man. We did. Our kids expected more. And we gonna work hard every day moving forward to give our kids more.
And just like the sacrifices that you all make, I talked about our sacrifices, but your sacrifices as coaches and even fathers. So, and Ricky, your son right here is playing at Townsend State, and they're having a great season. How do you balance that?
I just go, man. People ask me that all the time, from going to California, coming home from California on a Monday morning, and having to go to DC and see my son play, man. As a father, it's not even nothing to think about. You just go. You do what you're supposed to do as a father. And if the time you start thinking about it, it's not a good thoughts. So you just
Right.
go, man. How you do it? You just go. As a father, as a father, you just go, man. Do everything you're supposed to do, man, and be there when you're supposed to be there. With my oldest son, my oldest daughter, just go. When your name is called, you just gotta go. And that's just part of what I was taught from my parents. You just gotta go.
It's a small world because I follow Townsend, right? Reason in the beginning it was because of Radir, support our local athletes. But then Dylan Williamson, I went to college with his mother, Michelle.
Mhm.
So I started even looking at him even more. But Rodier didn't play last year because he had an injury.
He had a concussion.
He had a concussion.
He got that year back, so he got another year.
Oh, does he? See, I didn't know that. I thought
He's
this was his last year.
Yeah, but when he got hurt, third game of the year, they give you a redshirt year because you didn't play 1/4 of your season. So he's going to graduate next semester, and then he's going to get in the portal, and he's going to go play somewhere else for another year. So
Rev, that's breaking news. That is breaking news, Rev. I did it again. Look at me, Mom.
We appreciate Coach Hicks sharing that. Real quickly before we continue on, there's some comments. Paul Lambert says, hands up, hands down to the greatest players and coaches to represent Coatesville basketball. Tootie and R. Hicks, appreciate what y'all have done for the city and culture. Tyrone Hicks says 10 of Life is tuned in.
What's up, Tyrone?
Says good run, Coach John. Good evening, Brother Ricky. Legend. He says, I appreciate this platform. Dave Berman, the historian, announcer for Coatesville basketball, is in the building. Says, I'm all over the place. Coach Ricky, I think a parent had a little bone to pick with you. Coach Hicks, his name is Armand, not Armand.
I apologize. I apologize.
You know that's sport. You know that's sport.
Yes.
Yeah, don't feel bad because he corrected us when we first was posting and we first started the Facebook page. He got on there and told us.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me ask you all this. Well, let me start with Coach Allen real quickly. We know that you get a lot of the credit as the head coach.
Yeah.
But I want you just to take a moment right now to talk about the coaches on your coaching staff and what do they bring to the staff that's allowed you the success that you've had these past 3 years and especially the success that you had this year.
So we first started this thing when I first even thought about the job, before I even applied, before anything happened, I called Hicks and I said, yo, I need you. He said, what you need me for? I said, the Coatesville thing. He said, whatever you need. I don't know, but whatever you need. And so it didn't take a lot of convincing. He said, whatever you need, I got you. And then when I called Mark Bailey, he said, oh yeah. And what Mark does, he gives us a little bit of basketball when he can, but everything else he does.
Incredible.
Whether we need a kid needs a ride home, a kid needs a ride anywhere, anything that we need something fixed, making sure the uniforms is right, washing the uniforms. He does so much for our program that we can't do this without him. He makes it effortless and he makes it easy for us, right? And then Markel came over from Collegium. We worked together at Collegium. Marquise and Tyree. Tyree is our JV coach. Our JV, they went 17-2 this year, right? They played 19 games, went 17-2. So these are all winning coaches that have been a part of winning programs. And Hicks was my coach, right? And Mark was my coach, right? Me and Tyree was on a state championship team together. So just winning pedigrees. I wanted to, and Coatesville people. People may not know Marquise and Markel, but they are also Coatesville guys, right? They just went to Collegium. So they understand the culture and everything that's going on. And I can't do this by myself. Sometimes I break down video and I ask them what they think. You see, sometimes during the timeout, I ask, yo, what y'all think? Because I'm missing something. I can't see everything. What do y'all think? And they'll tell me, hey, you need to go 2-3. You need to go do this. You need to do that. I take some of the advice. Some of the advice I ignore, but most of the advice I take and I say, how do we implement it? How do we? Sometimes you'll see Hicks grab the board and draw up a play. So for me, it's not like, I've been around basketball, so I know basketball, but winning basketball games is really, really, really hard, especially in March. Winning playoff basketball games is really hard. And if you don't have people that's riding with you, that's by your side, that's riding with you, then you ain't going to win games. And I got the perfect staff here. They support me in everything that I do. They support me on the court. Any criticism to be had, any criticism that's to be had, they right there to back me up. And it's been like that from day one. Mark Bailey was my football coach when I was 8 years old. So it's been like that from day one. It's not just about me. And you know what? The crazy part is sometimes the kids give their input on the court, and that's most important, right? I hear the kids that come to me and say, "Yo, coach, let's get out the zone. We need to go man. We need to do this. We need to do that." And I say, "You know what? Let's do that. Or let's run this play." Okay, let's do that. I got senior guards, veteran, experienced players. Let's do that. Y'all understand? Y'all understand what's going on? Let's do that. So I couldn't coach anywhere because I wouldn't have my assistant coaches with me anywhere else. And if it wasn't for my assistant coaches, I couldn't coach here.
That's good stuff. Now, Coach Ricky, I got another question for you. So, Coach Allen alluded to the fact that you once coached him. So, how were you able to make the adjustment from coaching Coach Allen to being led by Coach Allen as he's the head coach of the basketball team?
Well, it's not hard when you coach it, and we had a pretty good team then, but the kids listened, and the kids understood who was who. Skook was the head coach. I was assistant coach. But Skook gave me a leeway they was my kids since 8th grade. So it's like, these kids are better than I know these kids. So I've been dealing with John and them since 7th, 8th grade. So the process of running the hills in the morning, 4 or 5 years, working with me in the summertime, 4 or 5 years. Now I'm standing beside him, knowing the work that he put in makes it easy for me to stand behind him because he did everything I asked him to do. You know what I'm saying? And he coming from, and he always had a high basketball IQ. So I already knew he knew the game of basketball. It wasn't we don't have no egos. Not at all. There's a lot of teams got egos. We don't have egos, man. Tootie said, "Coach, I want you to do this. That's what I'm going to do." Tell Mark, "Coach, I ain't going to be there. We got you." Like, whatever it is, there's no egos. When he walk in the building, it's his show. We move out of the way, it's John's show. So I've been assistant coaches like Kutztown, School. I mean, I kind of like the lens that I got to help, which is it's easy. And John listens. Like he said, sometimes he listens, sometimes he don't, and sometimes he'll say to me, "I'm just stubborn at times. I heard you tell me that the first quarter, and I waited for the last 6 minutes. I'm just stubborn." He says, so we laugh at that because he's doing his show at the end of the day. I don't get mad, you know what I mean? But he says it. I'm stubborn. Maybe I should have did it earlier, but he heard it, and then he might come back to it. But we work as a team, man. We laugh, man. We have more laughs on that bench than any other team in America. I promise you that.
Real quickly, you just mentioned Coach Scoogie twice. Typically, we have what we call a Scoogism for the week. So we're going to let you all just talk about Coach Scoogie like in 90 seconds before we ended the interview. Talk about your relationship, what he meant to you, so forth and so on, so that we can get more insight on what he meant to you. All right, so
I thought he was doing college and NBA, man. Hicks is
we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
I ain't gotta go nowhere. I ain't got to go nowhere.
That's why I tabled it for 90 seconds. For 90 seconds. So we don't.
Tootie want to be on the show. We want to stay.
We don't want the novel version because we know you both can write a story about Coach Scoogie, but we want you to practice being concise about your talk about it.
I'll say I'll go first, and I'll just say the passion that he had for the city of Coatesville and the community of Coatesville. Right, you guys know what that is. Everyone on this call knows what that is. And for me, I still tell the story. One day he was mad at us in the locker room. He kicked the door in the locker room, broke his foot. Came back the next day. He said, "But I had to get a red and black cast." So that's it. And he had a red and black cast. So the love that he had for the community and the passion that he had for the community and everybody in the community, it sticks with me today.
Coach Ricky.
I mean, one of my 5 memories was playing 9th grade. Skook was coaching the girls. And, he was coaching the girls, and he see me play, and he kept saying, man, I really like the way you play. And he told me, he said, if I ever get a coaching job, I'm gonna make you my assistant coach.
Mm.
And when he got that coaching job, and he told him that he wanted me to be assistant coach, and they had some questions about maybe me or you know what I mean, where I lived at, or some things I was doing, or things like that. He fought to the end. He fought because there was some questions they asked. You know what I mean? He's like, "What? Are you serious? You must don't know this guy." Just the fact that he stuck to his word. And when he stuck to his word, that showed me right there. But we've been brothers for a long time, man. We've been brothers. He always said I'm the brother he never had. You know what I mean? So Skoog was genuine. He was different. You know, he's the Skoog did things Skoog's way. You know what I'm saying? We all know he did things Skoog's way. So he was the great guy, man. It was his loyalty is incredible.
Well, I appreciate you both sharing those things. So we're gonna close on what I call memorable moments, since both of y'all have done rapid red fire before. But before we get into that, since Coach Allen is holding me to my word, let's talk a little bit of college basketball. And we know that we're in the heat of the basketball, college basketball season. We are officially in March Madness. So since Coach Tudor, you brought it up, who would you say are the teams that's gonna make some noise? And if you've seen the bracket, help the people who are gonna participate in bracketology with their brackets. Who you got in your Final Four?
I haven't really got a chance to study the bracket. Forgive
All right,
me.
well then just give us your top 4 teams.
I'll tell you what, the teams that I like is the teams that spent the most money. You spend money for March, right? Like you spend all your NIL money for March. So I like Florida. I like Alabama. I like Auburn. Duke if Cooper Flag is healthy. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I don't know where they sit in the bracket, but I know those schools spend the most money on their players. So that's what I'm gonna roll with.
So is it more just about the money that they spent, which allowed them to get the talent?
I think it's the money and they're good, right? Like
Okay.
Florida is good, Alabama is good, Auburn is good. They've proven it all year with Duke. I mean, there's other teams that's good, but I love St. John's. I love the way that they play, but I like to see them against one of these SEC teams. I would really like to see them against. I think the Big East is down. I mean, you see that with UConn not playing at a national championship level all year.
Villanova down.
Yeah, Villanova down. The Big East is down. So St. John's really took advantage of the Big East being down. And I think they're good. Take nothing away from them. I think they're good. But I think that SEC, man, you go through that SEC gauntlet, every day it's a fight. So I think those teams are prepared for this tournament. So I really like Florida, Alabama, Auburn.
That's dope. That's dope. Now, you mentioned St. John's. We got to put in there that Rick Pitino arguably may be the greatest college coach ever to do it, because everywhere he went, that joker has taken the team to the NCAA tournament. He's done it at the big schools, Louisville, Kentucky, St. John's, did it at the smaller schools, Providence, Iona. So, arguably he got to be one of the best college basketball coaches to ever do it. Would you agree with that, Coach Allen?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's not even an argument. When I played, he was at Louisville. He was awesome.
Coach Hicks, give us some of your insight on March Madness.
I mean, first I'd like to, since you talked about Louisville, I just like to say, X's and O's is good, but he built toughness, man. He make these guys do stuff they can't do. Like, it's hard to be teaching young men. I ain't gonna say young men no more because they grown. They 26, they 27 anymore. The things he get out of them guys, and I'm listening to some of the things some of the speeches he has. He's a genius at what he says. You know what I'm saying? So you can't never count them out because they're gonna die for him out on that court. You know what I'm saying? But me, I mean, like John said, Florida. I like Florida because they are not just a good team; they're a tough team, and you got to be tough. And playing in the SEC, playing in the league they play in, you got to be tough every game. You figure they beat Alabama, then they had to play Tennessee. Like they 2 games within 2 days, they back-to-back games they had to play. You know what I mean? So you got to take your hat off to that league. They got 13 teams in.
Yeah.
14, Coach. 14.
Like I said, if Cooper Flag is there, You know what I mean? He brings a whole different dimension. They go without him. For real, for real. I mean, they got some players.
Yeah.
But I just think, if you ask me, them other teams from another bracket, the guy said the other day, he said, if you can show me a better Final Four than what that league had in that last Final Four, with Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, and Alabama, you can show, if the Final Four is better than that, I got to see it.
Mm.
I got to see it. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man. But I like Florida, man, because I love the way they play. I love how they defend. I like how tough they are. And they played like 9, 10 guys, man. And you know, in a game, in one game, anything can happen. But
Yeah, definitely.
they tough. They are definitely tough.
Now, this conversation is messing me up because I spent a lot of my time in Atlanta, and typically that's football country. And SEC is typically known for its football, but now it's being known for its basketball, which is really
Now they start paying people legally instead of illegally like they've been doing for 50 years, right? So once they start paying people legally, now they become a good.
It changed the dynamics. It definitely changed the dynamic. And you know there's a lot of money down south. So and they can transfer some of that football money over to the basketball teams for sure. Unfortunately, my Georgia Bulldogs hadn't done it yet.
Watch out for Arkansas the next few years. Once they get rid of Calipari, once they get rid of him, because they realize that he's a dinosaur, then they'll be good.
Now, Coach Tootie taking shots at Coach Cal. What did Coach Cal do to you, Coach Tootie?
Nah, it's all love. It's all love, but it's just a fact. Look at Kentucky. It's just a fact.
I got you.
Wow.
They better.
All right,
Kentucky is better. It's simple. They better without.
Times definitely have changed because the best players ain't going to the big programs no more. You think about the number one player in high school going to BYU because BYU got the money. So times has definitely changed. The playing field, this is probably the more openness it's been for as who can win it. You know what I mean? At any given game, who can win it? You know, you got some teams that can put one game together and beat one of them teams.
Yeah.
You know, the ball still got to go in that basket. The ball still
All
got to go in that basket.
Now we talked a little college. We got to go to the pro game. Who y'all checking for as we're knocking on the door of the NBA playoffs? Who do you all see coming out of the East, or who the top teams in the East, top team in the West, and who do y'all think will be our NBA finals?
I mean, when you think about the East, you got to think about Cleveland and Boston.
Yep.
I mean, Cleveland has a great year, and they got a great coach, man. And when you start thinking about Golden State, and he was his top assistant, a lot of stuff that he probably put in that Golden State team, he's just bringing to Cleveland. You got to remember, Cleveland had a great coach, pretty good coach last year too. And to let him go and pick up him, that guy know what he's doing in Cleveland. You know what I mean? And then when you go to the West, I mean, Thunder is like crazy. They got like 2 guys at every position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they got the number one guy.
More coming with those draft picks. They got more coming with those draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever was the GM down there did a heck of a job, because you got to think about maybe 9, 10 years ago. Think about the 3 guards he had. He had Westbrook. He had Durant. You know what I mean? And to get rid of all that and come back and do what they doing now, that's incredible.
Yeah. So you got OKC coming out the West, and you saying Boston and Cleveland in the East.
I think the only team that's going to give OKC a run, and one thing I didn't like about them, Denver, they make no changes. They should have added 1 or 2 pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Denver, I mean, you know, who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop the big guy in the middle?
Jokic.
You know what I mean? Like LA, I would have loved to see Dallas. I would have loved to see Dallas if Davis didn't get hurt. It'd have been very interesting. But they all our guys end up getting hurt. You know what I mean? So that put them in the back seat. But you got to go there in LA. LA gonna make a push too. Upcoming young team is Houston.
Yeah, they got a lot of studs on them. A lot of stuff. Go ahead, Coach. Who you got?
I like Boston. I think the NBA is predicated on superstars, and Boston got 2 of them. 2 really good superstars, great superstars. So I like Boston to come out of the East. And the way that they shoot the ball, right? I think that Tatum can now. He's been getting a lot bigger, but he's more physical. He's able to guard 5. He's able to guard those guys from Cleveland because they don't have a lot of offense with their big guys. So I like Boston out of the East, and then out of the West. You know, if the Lakers, I like OKC. I love OKC. I do. I love OKC. But I think that if the Lakers are healthy, they have to be healthy in a 7-game series with OKC. I like the Lakers. If it gets to that, if it gets to Lakers OKC, I like the Lakers. I like the
Is
Lakers
it
in a
because of
7-game
star
series. I
power?
like the Lakers.
Is it because of their star
I think
power?
it's because of the star power, but I also think that in a 7-game series, the games slow down. OKC right now it's the regular season. They play fast. They everything is going faster for them. They may play a team that's not good on one night. They come back, they play a team that's good, and they got the MVP of the league, a great guard, right? But I think that when you can scout a team and scout everything that they do on a 7-game series, and the game really slows down. Luka is built for the playoffs. Slow, strong, really smart, really intelligent. LeBron is built for a 7-game series at this point of his career. He's the number 2, 3 option. Those guys, I think, are built for a 7-game series. And it will just come down really to if OKC has those big guys, if those big guys are healthy, and I think it can favor the Lakers.
Mr. Grubb, before I get
Boston Lakers in the final.
Kim said the viewer said keep going. Lamar Bricker said Hicks and Skoog was yin yang. Patrick O'Neal Thomas, he's part of my other show, the Red Rev Sports Show on Saturdays, says he got Florida, Houston, St. John's, Auburn, Duke, North Carolina. It's not the final 6, coach. It's the final 4. Eliminate 2 of those teams, sir.
Hey, hold up. North Carolina, they shouldn't even be in it.
They shouldn't be in there.
See,
Really,
okay.
North
Let me before you waste your oxygen, Coach Hicks, let me give you some
count them
context.
again.
Let me give you some context. That's his favorite team. That's his favorite team.
It don't matter,
so that's why
man.
he put North Carolina in there.
Take another team out, man. They can only be 4. North Carolina paid their way. They ain't paid players. They paid their way into the tournament.
Yeah.
see, let me give y'all context. That's his favorite team. So he has a problem with being objective.
He got to take 2 of his other teams out, Rev. He can't have.
But we know North Carolina should be out. It's really one. It's really one. So, Coach, give us one more team besides North Carolina that should be out to give us your final 4. Derek Smooth Operator Jackson says St. John's in Florida. Ms. Verdell Beckman said, don't forget our lady Gamecock. She lives in Columbia, South Carolina. Thanks so much for watching. This is controversial. Don't you start nothing up here in Coatesville. He said, I heard y'all the favorites for the Nova job.
Man, don't be coming on here with that stuff, man.
He always start trouble, man. You know he's starting trouble, man.
I know.
Patrick Thomas said he got the Celtics, Cleveland, OKC. Denver is quietly near the top. Breon Thompson said, thank you, coaches, for a great year.
That's Armand Shockley's birthday today. Happy birthday to him.
Happy
That's
birthday.
His mom.
Yeah, happy birthday, Armand.
Happy birthday.
Armand's
Lamar, he said that North Carolina got to be a bias pick. Sure, you're right. And I'm glad you saw right through that foolishness when it was posted. Mr. Grubb, you got anything for them, or you want to say something before I do these memorable moments?
Well, I'm going to throw in my picks, man, because I don't claim to be the smartest man in the room. So I just steal Tootie's and Ricky's picks. They sound like some good picks. I got Florida, Alabama, Auburn, and Duke if they're healthy. I am not the smartest man in the room, but I know how to write down on paper.
Well,
I'll take a shot. Shot of this iced tea from my throat.
Yo, are you looking at the bracket? Does that work for the bracket? Does those picks work for the bracket?
I don't even know, because just like you, I didn't even look at it yet. See, I was listening.
Yeah.
I was listening.
Sure. Yeah.
All right,
Hey, Ricky, real quick, I do have a question for Ricky. Ricky, when y'all won the state championship in 2001, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, but this is what I heard. Did you give up your state championship medal to another coach?
At the time, because they didn't have enough there. So I did give it up to somebody because they were short one. I just waited for the other one to come in. So, yes, I did.
Nice.
Man, listen. So that is breaking news again. That is a proven rumor, Coach Phil. He did do it. He was selfless because that's the kind of guy he is. Love you, Ricky.
Yes, sir.
All right, I want both of y'all. We're not going to do Red Raiders rapid fire. We've already put you both in the fire because this is not your first time on our show. So I want to say some memorable basketball moments. There are 4 moments that I thought of, and Mr. Grubb, if I missed a moment that you thought of, you could chime in and get their thoughts about it. So there are 4 moments that I want to bring up. All right, real quickly. The first moment is when Colton Hiller caught that dunk off the rim in Brooklyn against Eagle Academy. What were your thoughts about that moment? Start with you, Coach Ricky.
He wasn't there.
Oh, he wasn't there. Okay.
I was there.
But did you see the film?
You went to New York?
I went to New York. Yeah.
Hey, my bad, Coach.
Yeah, we stopped at Chick-fil-A on the way home, remember?
Yeah.
You said, don't discount me, Coach Allen. What do you remember? What were your thoughts about that memorable moment, Coach Hicks?
It was a wow moment for me because we seen him do it. You know, we seen you see it, but up in that little gym, at that moment when that ball bounced, he came from the top of the key. It was like, whoa, okay, give them what they looking for, and you see all the kids underneath the basket going. That was a great moment.
Coach, your thoughts on that moment?
Now, my thought was like I've been telling the head coach of the other team is a friend of mine. It was the top public school in New York, in the city. So I've been telling them like, we got a freshman, blah blah. We did all the stuff with the TV thing. I said we got a freshman, and up until that point, he was kind of quiet. But he got the dunk, and then he hit the deep three, and he started rolling. He started rolling. I looked at him, and he just started shaking his head. So, I mean, for me, I don't. Again, there are no wow. I was surprised that he can dunk like he can. I didn't expect that coming into the season. So, but anything else, I mean, he doesn't surprise me anymore. With the work that he puts in, he can do anything that he wants.
All right, since you said he doesn't surprise you anymore, I'm gonna give you another moment where it's the moment that Mr. Grubb brought up early in the show, the game he wasn't supposed to go to because we were supposed to cover senior night of the girls' game. Bishop Shanahan, overtime. Colton scores 13 of the 14 points in that overtime game on the road to give y'all that victory. What's your thoughts about that memorable moment?
I'll go because in practice, I'm serious. There's times in practice where he get hot and he make like 5 or 6 in a row when we scrimmaging and we playing, and it's like I've been waiting. I was waiting for this moment where he hit 3 or 4 in a game, and it came at the perfect time, the time when we needed. He did it against Avongrove, but it was like in the first quarter we blew him out. He did it in this moment in overtime. I was like, okay. Here it is. This is what I've been waiting for right here. Because I see it all the time in practice. He don't miss. He starts shooting and running away. He don't miss. He's shooting, he falls to the ground and go in. Waiting for that moment so everybody else can see. And when he hit those 3 threes, I was like, okay, that's the moment right there.
Coach Hicks, that same moment.
I think it was the way he did it. Like he was moving, running through the baseline, coming to the top of the key. He usually a type of one-step type of guy, move a little here, move a little there. But to see him run through the baseline and come all the way up to the top, and the guy finding with a pass over the shoulder, that one then moving to the left, like really moving instead of catching and standing still. The fact that he was catching them on the move and making them was something different than we've seen. He usually catch it and shoot it, but he was moving. So that was another part of his development that we've been trying to get him to get. Move. Because sometimes he get in that corner, he stay there and he's wait. So that was a part of development where, okay, he's listening to us, he's moving. And that was another one of them wow moments because not just the fact that he made the 3, the fashion that he made him was huge.
All right, I got 2 more moments, Mr. Grubb. If I don't catch a moment that you remember, feel free to share it. Let's go to the Chestmont semifinal game. Wow. In overtime. Before overtime, Colton Hiller hits 3 free throws to tie the game, ultimately gets the steal for the game to go into the championship. What are your thoughts about that moment, Coach Hicks?
You know what? My thoughts about that moment. Only thing I seen him do is go through the basket because John was standing straight in front of me, and I had no doubt he was gonna make them. I'm not even
Wow.
gonna lie to you. I didn't even see him, but we work on it because he used to lean, and sometimes he used to go in and out. And I always tell him when you shoot, go straight up and down on his shot. You know what I mean? And I mean, it was like it wasn't no brainer. It wasn't even no thought in my mind he wasn't gonna make them. I didn't see him, but it was no thought in my mind he wasn't gonna make. He was gonna make them.
Yo, I didn't see him either. I didn't see the free throws either. It was no doubt in my mind that he was going to make them. I didn't see the free throws either. I was up because the referee on a baseline called the foul. And I'm yelling at the other two refs, why are you not calling the foul? So I'm yelling at the other two refs. I'm not even looking at him.
Wow.
I'm looking at him. I'm looking at the other two refs. So I didn't see the free. I just knew they were good. So I was okay. He shot like 95% from the free throw line. I mean, we just
all right. Same game. Same game. Overtime. Amon Folks hits the scoop shot that ultimately is the basket that wins that game against Downtown West. Coach Allen, I'll start with you with that memorable moment.
Oh man, I was so the play was like this. Him and Colton work on this. We run this elevator screen, and we've been running it since I've been here. We run an elevator screen with Colton out of bounds, and we have been running it so much that in the game before, when faked the elevator screen, came back and got a layup. So that was the play that we were supposed to run. He was supposed to go up, fake the elevator screen, and then post up, and then he was at the basket by himself. And it happened, Downtown guy kind of fronted him, so it happened so fast. Amon seen it, Colton ran out, and then Amon dribbled, and I've been telling them, yo, I hate this layup. I hate this layup that he do on the right side, the left hand underneath the scoop thing. I hate it. I've been telling him, yo, stop shooting, just go straight up. When he attacked the basket, he is tough. When he attacked the basket, he usually get in one. When he go right hand, right side, and he attack people, he usually get in one. And I kept saying to him, stop doing this scoop shot. Stop doing this scoop shot. And he won the game with the scoop shot, man. So from then on, for the last month of the season, I ain't say nothing to him about anything. I just let him do his thing, man. I let him do his thing.
Good stuff. Coach Rick, same moment.
I mean, I was proud. I was proud of him because he was struggling a little bit that game. You know what I mean? And then just to take that shot with 2 or 3 guys on him, and with that shot he does. But as you see, after he made that shot there, I don't think he missed that shot that much more in the rest of the year.
Nah, he didn't.
So I was just proud of him because he loved that shot. He worked on that shot and he perfected it. It's with a little bit of space he had. I was just proud of him, man. I was just proud of the kid.
Mr. Grubb, you got any moments or anything you want to ask him?
So this moment is off the court, and this is when we first acquired our press credentials. And the first time I walked in the gym, Kim said, "Are you okay? You're good. You're on the list." And I walk up there, and she's like, "I don't see no Levi Worthington on the list." So she ends up calling Lisa, and I'm getting scared now because Lisa, she's tough. She looked tough, and she comes down there and she says, "Oh yeah, you're Levi, Kim." Man, I'm thinking I'm gonna be that guy on them clips where the independent journalists. I'm here to do an audit. I thought I was gonna be that guy. But after that moment, man, we was in there like Flint. And man, so that was a memorable moment. I made it about myself. Yes, I did. But let me tell you, now the real memorable moment, Rev, is when those kids beat Bishop Shanahan for the Chestnut, for me, the Chestnut title, and going on the floor and just seeing those kids enjoy that moment and knowing that the Chestnut title still means a lot to these kids. It's an accomplishment. And then this is the best part. Tootie was down there directing the whole scene, right? So he let them celebrate with the trophy and get the pictures, and he had the student section at bay. And when they was done taking those pictures, he said, "Go." And they all mouthed him. I said, man, this guy is not only a coach, he's a traffic director. Man, listen, you the man, too. You the man. Love you, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Love you
All
too,
right,
man.
real quick,
For me,
let me
for
just
me,
jump in with a
my most memorable moment of the season was winning that championship, and the way, like you said, Mr. Grubb, the way that the students got a chance, the students that came out to support got a chance to celebrate with our kids. You can't you can't that was organic, right?
Yeah.
It just came together. It wasn't fake. It wasn't anything. Our students was out there. They was dapping each other up. They was hugging each other. To me, that's the most memorable moment, and that's something that I'll take with me.
And that shows how much respect those kids have for you, Tootie, because these kids, they on 100 right now. And they stop. Me, if I stop that quick, I'm going to pull a hamstring. You know what I mean? But
It's
they
all
stopped for
love.
you. And when you said go, they went, man. I was watching.
It's all love, man. It's all love.
last moment real quickly, and then if y'all could just prepare your minds for one more question after this memorable moment. And here's the memorable moment. The state tournament, Cumberland Valley. Among folks drills a deep three,
Oh, yeah.
causes you to win the game. It helps you advance to the Elite Eight. What's your thought about that memorable moment? Coach Hicks? Go ahead, Coach Allen, Coach Hicks, either one.
I mean, just the fact that Mom knew he was going to take that last shot.
Mm.
As soon as he passed it, he ran right to it, like, and got his feet set. What we've been working on. I mean, sometimes you just got to take your hat off because some people don't want to take that last shot. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And he's definitely one who never shied away from this, at least this year, of like, this is my team. I'm going to take the last shot. So I was like, once again, I had so many proud moments of him because he grew up so much. Like he was the, if you look at, if you know, you got 5 kids, it's always one that's going to give you, going to give you a hard time. It's kind of like tough. You're going to be trying to help out, and he's tough because he got his own mind, and he was that guy for me. And
Mm.
once we started talking differently and understanding, it was a match made in heaven. Trust me. But just the
Coach
fact that he
Allen.
was just the fact that he wanted to take that shot, it was a big moment, and he took that shot and made it. I just take my hat off to cats like that.
Yeah, guts.
Yo, he had been doing that all year. Literally, I mean, we played Upper Dublin, we lost. He sent the game into overtime with a 3-pointer with time running out. Like he hit the game winner against Downingtown that you mentioned. And I'm sure I'm missing one or two. We had a game in Jersey, which nobody's seen. He had 27. We were struggling. We was down like 15, 20 points. He brought us all the way back. We was down 2, and he shot a 3. And I was so surprised that he missed it, honestly, because he had been working on it, working on it, working on it. And I was like, but he shot it with so much confidence. So when he shot the Cumberland Valley, the game winner against Cumberland Valley, it was kind of like, I looked at it, it was, his shot, high arcing shot.
Yeah, high
I
arcing
looked at
shot.
it was no rotation, but it was straight. And I was like, oh, that's good. All his shots are either on net. His shots never roll in or hit the rim. It's always on net. Right. So I said, oh, I looked at it and I said, oh, that's good. Because it was his shot because it was high, no movement on the ball. So I just knew it was on net. It was either that or air ball. But I had the feeling it was on net.
All right, Tony Peterson said, already looking forward to next season. So, you all are the pro team here in Coachville. So you got to
Yes,
give us
sir.
a snapshot. We know you just came off the end of your season 2 days ago, but the fans are already excited. We talked earlier about Larry Brown. He's coming back. He'll be a senior. Colton Hiller, we spent a lot of time talking about him. He'll be a sophomore. Give us some other names, such as like Jaleel Tedford, who came on strong, got some minutes toward the end of the season. What are you expecting from him next year? And maybe some other players rather, that we may
I like
not
that.
know about that you're planning
I
on
think
stepping up.
Chris Allegra was hurt in the last game. His arm was a little messed up, and I didn't think that was the right game to put him in with Roman when he was a little injured. So Chris will be back next year. Zarek Allen will be back. My nephew, he'll be back next year. And then we got the JV guys. Big Max will be back. We working on it. You know, he got the football thing going and the offer. So Big Max will be back. But Jamai Williams, you know, I'm excited about Jamai take over the point guard spot, especially for this spring summer, just to take over the point guard spot and to watch him grow up and, you know, become better and get stronger. I'm excited for that. So we're coming back. We'll be back with a vengeance. With Coachville kids, man. With Coachville kids, and that's the one thing that I'm proud about is, you know, Nas Williams came from Philly, but his dad is from his family is right here in Coachville. His dad, his uncle Vinny is at the school, so it's Coachville kids, and they just tough kids, man. So that's what we're gonna be next year, and you know, those guys that you've seen at the end of the bench, a lot of those guys that you've seen at the end of the bench that were young, look inexperienced, that people just brush off. Those are the guys that's going to be the best players in District 1 next year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Coach Hicks.
One player. I mean, all the players, but I would love to see Jonas get a little tougher, get a little stronger. He got the shot. He's got to get a little tougher inside. You know what I mean? We're gonna need you to make that Jones shot. We're definitely gonna need you to bang inside. So I think a lot of development with him, as far as weightlifting, getting stronger. You know what I mean? Because you already know what else you got out of the two bigs with Larry and Hiller coming back, and you already know what you got out of Colton coming back. You know, as far as the guards, we're gonna need a couple guards that's gonna be able to knock down shots. Because you know when you got a cat like Colton, you know what I mean, that can shoot, he's gonna draw so much attention, and guys gonna get open shots. So if we get some guys who can knock down shots with consistency, we'll be right back where we was at.
Mr. Grubb, you want to wind this thing on up?
Man, I think this was probably the best show ever. Maybe we need to change the name to the best show ever, man, because I don't know what the numbers are, but I've seen a lot of cats on here that don't usually be coming on here and talking, but we appreciate you. And we want to see you next week in the place. Man, Ricky, Tootie, man, big ups to you guys, man. You did a great job this year. And while I'm being selfish, and Rev, you can be selfish too, because, man, the enjoyment that you gave us, just imagine the enjoyment that you gave the city. So, man, guys, keep up the good work, man, and work on them players, man.
I will say this. I really, really appreciate you guys. And we laugh and we joke in every interview like y'all made me famous, right? And y'all brought out some when our people didn't really know our guys. You guys were always there, right? You guys were always there to give us whatever you know, face to the public, whatever we needed. You guys were there to give us. So we really, really, really appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Keep it up with the other sports. The other sports need you because Coachville has a lot of talented kids, not only in basketball, not only in football, not only in track, but in so many other sports. We have so many talented kids. And Hicks, you at the school, you know the work that the kids put in every day in every sport. So, man, keep doing what y'all do, man. Keep doing what y'all do. Keep doing everything that y'all do. And we appreciate it, and we're going to support it, man.
So real quick, that was a scoring update, Rev. The Coastal varsity baseball team was up 3-0 at the bottom of the third inning, but that was like an hour ago. So
Yeah. We'll get an update. Hopefully we'll have that score. We'll close out with Coach Hicks, but let me just say to Coach Allen, as I said in the interview after Saturday's game, we have a lot to say thank you to you for, because you have a lot of gravitas in Coachville. And when we first started this show, you legitimized not only the show, but the network. To have someone of your caliber, legend in basketball, also a well-respected coach, for you to come on the show day one and believing in the show, we truly got to show a lot of gratitude to you. And also, Coach Hicks, you were on the show shortly after Coach Allen was on. So you both have helped our brand, if you will, become what it's become. And so we have to say a huge thank you to the both of you all for helping us get to where we are to be able to do what we're doing for the boys and the other sports.
Thank you,
Most
guys. Keep
definitely.
it going,
I
man.
want
Keep
to. I
it
want to
going.
say thanks to y'all too. I appreciate. I appreciate y'all having me on. I mean, sometimes I was sitting there thinking when y'all asked me to come on, I was like, wow, it's the first time I've been on a podcast.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And y'all don't even know how y'all made me feel just to be asked to come on. So I want to thank you guys, man. And hopefully, like I say, we get on here, we give y'all insights on stuff that you might not know. We give you stories y'all might not know. But one thing for sure, we gonna give you the facts. And y'all keep it as real as we keep it as real. And y'all gonna keep building, man. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Well,
Appreciate it, man.
we appreciate you all, and we're gonna step it up next year. We're gonna do something with these other teams that we weren't able to do with you all. So we're gonna give y'all a snapshot. We're gonna have a media day with you all next year, where we're getting shots of all the players. We're gonna have interviews, and then we're gonna put it together to put it on the network so folk can get ready to know who's gonna be on the basketball team and what to expect. So we're looking forward to taking this thing to another level by the time we get to next season. But Coach,
we're gonna get y'all some gifts, man. We got some gifts for y'all. Some 610 Sports Network T-shirts. Now it's getting to the spring. Y'all need spring, summer. Y'all need T-shirts. Y'all can take your hoodies off. So we're gonna make sure we get y'all some T-shirts.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yes,
I look
sir.
forward to it.
Hold me to it. It's a fact.
And if you want to throw in some Coachville sweats, let me know.
Hey, what about the hats too, man? We need some hats.
Y'all don't need no hats, man. You don't need a hat, man. You get T-shirts, man. You don't need a hat.
But before we let
Tootie, like remind when you about to go in the store. Boy, we about to go in that store. Don't you ask for nothing.
You
Go
don't need
ahead.
a hat, man. You only need a T-shirt. You need 2 T-shirts, man. Red and black. Like Simmons
Gotcha.
would have wanted it. Red and black.
no
I
doubt.
appreciate it.
Before we let you all go, we got to get this comment from one of our staff persons, Kim. She says, "Thank you for allowing us to come along this journey with you. I've fallen in love with these boys, seen them grow, and have enjoyed seeing all these special moments that you all have shared." And she's the one who's doing all the bells and whistles with the interviews and the clips and so forth and so on. So we appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Kim.
Yep.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Seville family, can y'all show some love to Coach Tootie as well as Coach Ricky Hicks? We thank y'all so much for your time. And we did overtime with you all because you all are special guests.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Thank you.
Hey,
Keep
listen,
it going, man.
Hey,
Keep it going. Keep it going.
hey,
Seriously, keep it going.
one thing for sure, two for certain. Levi said he got all night. You hear me? He mean that.
That's right, man.
Yo,
I got
in
all
the
night.
garage, man. In the garage, man. He ain't got all night, man.
I got my little heater here. I'm good.
All right, man. I see y'all, man. Thank you.
Again. We appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Rev. I appreciate
All
it,
right,
man. Let
guys.
me know if you
You
need
guys be
anything.
easy.
All right.
All right. All right.
Again, we thank Coach Tootie, Coach Ricky. Great interview. We truly appreciate them. Lamar said they got a lot of merch, so I hope some of that merch finds my body in Mr. Grubb's body. Amen.
Actually, large.
Derek Smooth Operator Jackson said, "Go." Lamar said earlier, Jonas and Larry got to be hip to hip all summer.
Yes, sir.
And, I think I said this. Sylvia Harris, that would be my mother, said the overtime was great. Dennis Holmes said Coach Hicks showed me how to be a true guard, and Coach Tootie took 90 shots in his first 5 games as a freshman. Laugh out loud. Love y'all guys. Great season. Just a quick summary of what just took place before I give the touch of Christ moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm doing it on my phone, and the motion detector came on, so that kind of distracted me.
Just a little summary of the interview, what just took place.
Man, that was a great interview, man. That was, and some people don't know, we didn't do what we usually do. We didn't send nobody no questions. We ain't send each other no questions. We ain't have nothing. We're prepared in our own way, but we wanted to let it be organic and get their true feelings out of how the season went. And that was a great interview, man. That was a great interview. It was a great time. It felt like, you're in the barbershop just talking. And Tootie, we did a good job when we got Tootie tired. He ready to get off now. And I knew you was hungry, so I'm sitting back here laughing. But yeah, it was a great interview, man. I'm interested in seeing who tuned in, man, and supported. So, and look, the sky's the limit for this network. So we're just gonna keep pushing, man.
And let me just say, a lot of the Kodak moments that we got came from Mr. Grubb. So we thank you for you and your camera phone blessing us with a lot of memorable moments and great clips during the course of the season.
Thank you.
No diggity, no doubt. Well, let me conclude this thing with the last thing that we normally do. For we are all about sports with a touch of Christ. So real quickly, I just want to turn our attention to Psalm 16, verse 8. The psalmist says, "I have set the Lord always before me, but he is my right hand, shall not be moved." And one of the most important things that people have to understand is you want to make sure that whatever you do, whatever you get in, so forth and so on, you want to make sure that the Lord is in it and the Lord is ordering your steps, saying the Lord is always before you. And one of the things that has been a blessing about our network, we have definitely put the Lord before us as we've set the course for this particular network. It's because the Lord has been before us that we have not been moved as a network. As Mr. Grubb alluded to earlier, we've had our share of ups, we've had our share of downs, we've had our share of growing pains as a network. Every family is going to have some hard times and some good times. But because this is the Lord's doing and the Lord is getting the glory, the Lord is before us and is able to keep us continuously going despite the winds that come, despite the hard times that come, despite the bad times that come. So I hope that somebody who is trying to accomplish something in life, somebody's trying to move a little bit higher in life, somebody who's trying to get through some various struggles in life, make sure that the Lord is before you. The Lord is ordering your steps. And know, if the Lord is ordering your steps and is before you, nothing will be able to move you. Nothing will be able to stop you. As one rapper said, it will be all the way up. With that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in to show number 11 of the Seaville Sports Mentality Show. And Mr. Grubb, I'll leave the final word for you as we close this particular show. Unmute yourself.
I unmuted myself, and it's going to be real short because I'm losing the voice again. God bless the city of Coatesville. God bless the local sports players, and God bless this network. And I'm going to say goodnight. That's it.
No diggity, no doubt. Thank you for your parting words, Mr. Grubb. We'll be back with show number 12 next Monday night, 6:30 on 610, the Seaville Sports Network. The sports pride of Coatesville. Continue to like our Facebook page. Continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Continue to check out our clips and posts daily and share it with somebody so we can have some more followers of the 610 Sports Network. Thank you, Seaville, for your support. Again, thank you, Coach Tootie and Coach Hicks, for your time tonight and giving us a wonderful interview. We're out of here. Peace and love.